This is the GIS Evening Report for Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. I am Chrisanne Mitchell. In the headlines, 4-day-old bushfire continues to move through parts of St. George Northeast constituency. We'll have details to this story and more after the break.
Are you thinking about buying a vehicle? Did you find a company on social media? Stop. It may be a scam. Look out for the following red flags. Is the price lower than other dealers? Does it seem too good to be true? Are you sending the monies to the US even though you are ordering the vehicle from Japan? Does the address on the invoice match the address on the payment details? Are conversations limited to WhatsApp text? Is there a sense of urgency placed on you by the seller? You are about to be scammed. Do not take your hard-earned cash or even worse, a loan to send to these scammers. Once the money leaves Grenada's shores, you are not likely to get it back. Consider buying a vehicle already on island from an individual or a car dealer. Beware of these scammers. If in doubt, it's best to stay out. A message from the Financial Intelligence Unit.
Welcome back. Bushfires continue to pose significant threat to property and lives during the dry season. A fire that began 4 days ago in the Mount Kuma area has swiftly moved through parts of Bolio and Bellevue in the St. George Northeast constituency. MP for the area, Honorable Ron Redhead, says because of the threat posed by the fire, a meeting was held early on Wednesday morning with representatives from NADMA and other key stakeholders that led to the activation of the district group. He says the fire is posing a challenge given the terrain, the heat, and the high winds added to the present water scarcity now being experienced in communities.
For about 4 nights now, a fire, 4 to 5, a fire has been raging or at least been burning in the area and creating some very serious concerns. There was an instance where one home almost caught a fire, but the firefighters really did their best to avert that. And that was at the Granny Vale, Mount Kuma area. So now what has happened is that that fire has slowly creeped over and come on the other side and is burning very quietly, but is burning nonetheless, and is burning deep-rooted debris, which is most dangerous. The fire is coming down, is a creeping fire, it's coming down slowly. So what we did from a disaster standpoint is to be proactive. We do not want to hear houses or homes on fire. I think the priority for us right now is to safeguard property and lives. And so we were able to mobilize this meeting only at short notice and to be able to deploy some efforts and resources to be able to contain the fire. So right now an operation headed by the RGPF, of course, inspector responsible for fire department, and Mr. Isa Pear, in addition to NADMA, Ministry of Infrastructure, Lands, and NOASA, and myself, met this morning to be able to talk about a strategy to contain this fire from getting out of hand.
Inspector Thaddeus Hamilton, officer attached to the fire department, spoke to the GIS at the Bellevue site where houses are threatened by the fire. He says his men are working tirelessly to save properties and avoid further spread. Inspector Hamilton says getting the fire under control is very challenging given the terrain and the narrow roads on which the fire tender has to maneuver.
The terrain is challenging, as you see the driver had difficulty negotiating the corner. Likewise, our team members have difficulties accessing the slope. And with this fire now, it is back burning instead of burning up the slope as what fire normally does, right? And this is the challenge we have here, right? So the methods we are applying is to create the fire line to prevent the fire from coming downwards, right? So when the fire burns and emits that, if there is no more fuel, it will die. And the application of water, that will also help cool the fire itself. But one have to take into consideration the environmental conditions. It's very windy on the outside. Also, it's very hot. And the area can be considered to be virgin forest. He's talking about years of litter build up in the forest. So when that fire burns, it will burn almost everything in its path, and making it more difficult for the firefighters.
National Disaster Coordinator Dr. Terence Walters also visited the fire scene in Bellevue. He spoke to the priority of NADMA with some homes in the path of the fire.
There again, if you have threats, if the fire is going to threaten houses, the first thing we'd advise is for the residents to evacuate and find alternative places to stay. So, but we have to first of all protect lives and try to protect the properties. But if we can't protect the property, then we must look at the lives first and then see how we can get the people to safety. But again, as it is, once the houses are being threatened, we encourage the residents to vacate the premises, seek alternative shelter, and then we continue to work towards preventing the property from being destroyed or damaged.
Both MP Ron Redhead and Inspector Hamilton of the Royal Grenada Police Force say the task to control the fire means that communities will have to come on board to complement the men at the fire department who are cutting trances on the various embankments. A call was also made to residents to adhere to the no-burn policy by the Ministry of Agriculture.
There's a possibility of digging some trenches, but we need manpower to do that because the area is an extremely sloped area, and machine may not be able to go there easily. So we are looking at all options to be able to contain the fire. The challenge that we have is that there are some roads at the Bellevue areas that the fire truck is unable to articulate, and therefore we desperately need the volunteers to be able to come out and to make this a reality to contain the fire.
We urge people, in fact the Ministry of Agriculture in recent times issued a no-burn notice informing persons that they should refrain from burning, and as such we at the fire department, we endorse such, and we are encouraging our citizens to refrain from burning as you realize what is happening. We have acres of land being burnt by fire, and it's damaging the ecosystem. And we have to look at the spin-off when the rain season comes, yes, in terms of landslide, land slippages, and so forth. So we're really encouraging our people to refrain from burning, and we're also encouraging persons in the area where the fire is threatening to come out and give some assistance to the firemen in helping to contain the fire.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Stomp out careless or intentional bushfires, dead out. Youths, hunters, smokers, let's prevent bushfires. Here's why.
Yeah, bushfires. The shorelands wet, crops should be bushfires. Can't eat the food, scarcity, threatened biodiversity, cause water shortage, water calamity. Bushfires and watersheds deplete water quality, threaten property, life and security. Bushfires set intentionally, water insanity.
Bushfires can cost millions in losses annually and are often caused by careless or intentional actions indictable under the law. Forests are life-giving. Save them. A message from the Fire Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Caribbean Open Trade Support.
Welcome back. The Grenada Cooperative Bank has donated more than $500,000 towards the re-establishment of the Carlton home. A check valued at $584,392 was handed over to the Ministry of Health on Wednesday. The funds were amassed through the annual Pump It Up Family Fun Walk, an event organized by the bank, as well as the support of benefactors. They include Flow Grenada, Jonas Brown and Hubbard's Grenada Limited, Guardian General Insurance OECS Limited, Antillian Group, Wakati Rentals and Songs, Koyaba Beach Resort, and Body Image Health Club. This year's edition took on added significance as the Grenada Cooperative Bank dedicated the past 5 years of the walk's proceeds specifically towards the restoration of the historic Carlton House. Managing Director of the Grenada Cooperative Bank, Larry Lawrence, highlighted the challenges posed by COVID-19, but underscored the bank's determination to achieve their $500,000 goal for the project.
The targeted amount of funds to be raised to re-establish this facility was set at $500,000. with a time frame of 5 years to achieve. Midway through this journey, we were faced with challenges of COVID, which had a significant social and financial impact on our country and economies worldwide. Notwithstanding this, we remained unshakable in our resolve. COVID was a challenge. In spite of the challenges, but because of the commitment, which is that first step, the benefactors continued to make their contribution. At Co-op Bank, we believe in partnerships, and due to the enormity of the problem and the resources required, of course, Corporate Grenada was invited to join the efforts, and the Ministry of Health to combat the health challenges facing our communities.
Minister for Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Honorable Delma Thomas, congratulated the Co-op Bank and partners for the initiative.
This exemplary support from the private sector exemplifies a commendable partnership between business and government in addressing crucial societal needs. The cooperative bank's generous donation not only demonstrate corporate social responsibility, but also underscores a shared commitment to improving public health and social welfare. Such initiatives play a pivotal role in fostering community development and promoting a culture of compassion and support for individuals struggling with addiction.
Minister Thomas gave the government's commitment that Carlton House will be constructed and in operation. So far, government has started on the reconstruction plans.
The Carlton home was destroyed by Hurricane Ivan in 2004, 20 years ago. 20 years later, I stand here to give a commitment that the National Democratic Congress government, led by our Honorable Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, will ensure, let me stress that, will ensure the reconstruction of a rehabilitation center in Grenada. It will be housed what was commonly known as the Nurses Hostel, or the Nurses Hostel was before Hurricane Ivan. This is also a facility that was destroyed by Hurricane Ivan. I want to say to you that we have already started our work, and my PS is here, so we are not sitting idly by. We are forging ahead to ensure that we have that reconstruction with the assistance of our government. So presently we are doing feasibility study. We are looking at, yes, it's government land, but we're doing the surveying for ourselves. And we're also completing our designs. So completion of design, feasibility study, and the clearing of the site will be done before the end of 2024.
ACB Grenada Bank will on Thursday, May 9th, host a symposium at the Grenada Trade Center Annex to officially launch its small and medium-sized enterprises program to establish the bank as a partner in Grenada. This initiative aims to foster local business growth, provide necessary financial tools and resources, and strengthen community ties through comprehensive support and collaborative events. Karner Warner, country manager, ACB Grenada Bank, told the Government Information Service on Tuesday that the program includes a series of strategic activities culminating in a hybrid symposium to educate, engage, and empower the SME sector in Grenada.
On Thursday, that's this Thursday, May 9th, we'll be hosting a symposium from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's open, so whether or not you're planning on starting up a business, you have an existing business, we're inviting everybody to come. It will be held at the Grenada Trade Center Annex. So there, we'll have representatives from ACB Grenada Bank, of course. We'll have persons from the ECPCGC, and we'll also have GIDC. So each will be doing presentation to the group to let them know generally what they need to have in place in order to access this funding. In addition to that, they'll be able to have one-on-one. So we have set up private areas where they can interact with us, interact with the members from GIDC, as well as the members from the Eastern Caribbean Partial Guarantee Fund, to have conversations, to understand exactly what we are doing. in the event they are not comfortable asking the question in the open forum.
The bank's Chief Credit and Sales Officer, Narcisse Moise, says the bank has partnered with the GIDC in conceptualizing the SME program to ensure that it is in keeping with government's agenda to promote the development of small businesses throughout the state.
We've actually partnered to some extent with the GIDC. So in conceptualizing this, we would have engaged the GIDC, and they would have given us ideas as to what is on the government's priority list as it relates to the SME sector. And we've ensured that what we have on offer is in line with what the government has on its priority list. So I think we've pretty much captured that. We've recognized that the agro-processing sector, for instance, in Grenada is a big thing. We want to be able to reach out to persons who operate in that sector to assist them with their businesses, to help their businesses grow. That's just one. The ITC sector is also another sector we recognize that is on the government's priority list. So we want to be able to work with the GIDC to identify those critical sectors to assist.
Moise says customers' needs will be assessed on a case-by-case basis with a standard offering for small businesses within the region of $1 million.
We have the guarantee. The guarantee is in 3 tiers, so we can qualify customers based on each arrangement. But the SME customers, we recognize that their needs would not go, typically their needs would not go beyond the $1 million threshold, so we keep it there, but we help them grow. So we can actually move customers from being a small business customer to a large corporate. And that is actually the intention. So we want to be able to work with the small business customers to help them grow their businesses and to see them journey through that life cycle where the business move from stage A to stage B until they become large corporates.
We'll be right back after this break.
I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP.
I am VIP. I am vaccinated. I am immunized. I am protected. Our children and nation depend on vaccination for immunization. Childhood vaccination is national priority. It is their protection from disease and sicknesses. Let's all be VIPs and safeguard our beautiful Grenada. I am DJ Blackstorm and I am a VIP health champion. Be a VIP like me.
Let's all be VIP champions.
A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Be a VIP Childhood Vaccination and Immunization Campaign in collaboration with UNICEF and the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back. Minister for Agriculture and Lands, Forestry, Marine Resources and Cooperatives, Honorable Lennox Andrews, and his team will meet with agro-processors on Tuesday, May 14, 2024 at 3 p.m. in the broadcast room of the Grenada Athletic Stadium. The meeting is aimed at fostering a collaborative environment between the government and key stakeholders in the agro-processing sector, serving as an opportunity for open dialogue, sharing insights, and discussing future policies that will shape the landscape of agriculture and agro-processing in Grenada. Areas to be covered include support for agro-processors under the World Bank-funded food security enhancement, concerns and suggestions from agro-processors, and incentives for boosting the sector include access to financing. This engagement offers a special forum for direct communication with the minister and a chance to express concerns, goals, and suggestions for a more resilient agro-processing sector. And finally, in the news, elections of members to form parish sports councils in every parish continue as the National Sports Council Secretariat implements the national policy on sports and physical activity. Elections were held in St. George on Tuesday evening. Those elected are Chairman Dwayne Noel, Vice Chairman Axel Joseph, Secretary Kester Elcock, Treasurer Janelle Andrew, and Directors Ronald Charles, Lincoln Elcock, and Sheldon Noel. In prior elections, St. David, St. Andrew, and St. Patrick appointed their members. They are responsible for the development of sports in their respective parish under the authority of the National Sports Council Secretariat. St. Mark will get their turn this evening to elect their members at the Bonaire Government School from 6 p.m. They will be followed by St. John on Thursday at Guelph Fish Market Conference Room at 6 p.m. and Carriacou and Petit Martinique on Saturday at Hillsborough Government School at 3 p.m. This story ends the GIS Evening Report for Wednesday, May 8, 2024. I am Chris Ann Mitchell saying thank you for joining us.